Hi, my name's Cassie Peterson, and I did my spotlight presentation on Clarke Capital Partners. So just a little bit of an overview. I work for Clarke Capital Partners. I've worked there since end of August, and I really enjoy it. What they do, they invest in other companies, and they partner with other companies. And in James Clarke, he's the CEO and founder. That's him right there. In his own words, they are business builders. He and the other guys in the firm, they have all built their own businesses in the past, and so they want to be more hands-on with the companies, and they give them suggestions and help them to see things differently. They currently have over 35,000 employees. That includes the offices in New York, Provo, Miami, London, as well as the other companies that they have partnered with, which includes like Pet IQ, Contour, Brandless. Brandless is really big right now. So they started in 2011, right after the financial crisis of 2008. During that time, he owned ClearLink. During 2008, he owned ClearLink. He hired a CEO, went to school at Harvard and Yale, lived in New York just to get some more experience and more information into investing, and came back, sold ClearLink end of 2010, and started Clarke Capital Partners in 2011, the day after. To do a cultural analysis, it was really interesting talking to James, since he is my boss and I feel like I know who he is and what he stands for. It's really important, and it was really cool to know that those same values that he has now were there with him at the beginning. The biggest thing that he talked about was he wanted to build a company that would last. He wanted to build something that could help his family after he left, even if that was just managing his family's assets. He also talked about how important it is to have a long lens approach and to not be so nearsighted and to make quick snap decisions just for like immediate gratification, but to be looking down the road. He also talked about their motto, which is labor and honor. And that just goes to show, I mean, that's instilled into him as well as into all of his employees, just the importance of working hard, but being full of integrity and also giving back when you can. For the industry demands, he talked about how when he owned ClearLink, his friends and acquaintances kept coming to him asking him questions for who to invest in, where to put their money, because that was something that he did on the side. He was just interested in that. But he got really interested in it and decided to pursue that. And that is when he wanted to start Clarke Capital Partners. So in the beginning, I asked him what his what his goals were, what his assumptions were. And he said he incorrectly assumed that it was going to be easier than it actually is. And he said it's the hardest work he's done in his life. But as it says here, anything worth building is worth doing well. And he shows that in everything that he does. Again, he went to Yale and Harvard, and he studied how to create big businesses. And so knowing that going in, he knew that he would need to pick the very, very best of all the companies that he could choose from. And once he found the best, then he could go forth with that. And again, he knew that he would want to give back to the community, which they have done so well at. For culture maintenance, he has created a very good environment. It's a very loving, familial environment. And as he says here, it's a culture of caring. And you can definitely feel that. I feel that from him. He feels that from all of his coworkers. He was telling me about the guy who works in Miami. He's very close with him, came to both of his parents' funerals, and Again, as he says here, every problem that you encounter in business has a first and last name, and he's very people oriented, and it's not just about business, it's not just about money, it's about people. And for the hiring process, they actually screen really heavily for hiring, and he said that the two biggest things they look for are that they understand what their job is going to be, they know what they're going to do, but also that they care. They care about their job, they care about Clarke Capital Partners, and they care about people. For new employee onboarding, they make sure that everyone understands their job, like I said, but they kind of leave the little details up to the individual. Every week they have a TM3 meeting, is what they call it, and they meet in Provo. They have the different branch managers from Miami and I believe London. They all Zoom in, and they kind of get everyone on the same page. They have really great communication. They talk about what needs to be done, who needs help, and it's just a really good, I think it's a really smart thing that they do. In the meeting that I went to, Natalie was her name, she talked about trusting everyone but branding your cattle. And just to say that you need to trust other people and trust that they're doing their job, but make sure that you are doing your job and that you're holding up your end of things and you're doing the little details that need to be done so that Clarke Capital Partner they have a good name, the Clarke family has a good name, and you're just doing everything you can to do what is right. James Clarke, he leads by example. He works hard. He works probably 80-hour weeks, and he expects us, not necessarily, doesn't expect his employees to work 80 hours a week, but he expects his employees to work hard. And it's really cool. I've noticed that, like, if there's a problem that arises, he acknowledges the problem and he kind of gets to the bottom of that. He asks you to learn from it, and then he moves on. He doesn't bring it back up. He doesn't like bring it back into your face to, kind of prove that you were wrong. He moves on from it, and I think that's really cool, and that just again goes with the honor that he has. And for the reward system, it's kind of based on the individual and on the team because there's a lot of different projects that need to be done for the team and the individual, and that's just kind of how they go about that. So overall, I would say that they're a clan. It's very familial based, and on their website they have this quote that says all rowing in the same direction, just talking about Clarke Capital Partners as well as the different companies that they have partnered with, and everyone is working together for the greater goal of the company, and you can see that in the employees' actions. What makes them unique and successful? First of all, their TM3 meeting. I think that is so cool, and I haven't seen that in the other companies that I've worked for. But they also care about their employees, and they support them when they leave. Even when I was being interviewed there to be hired, James asked me what I was studying. I study landscape management. I want to have my own floral shop. And he thought that was so cool. And he said, okay, well, when you move on to that, you come back to us for help because we would love to help you with that. We would love to help you with networking to get you where you want to be, which was so kind. And when I asked the employees what they thought about Clarke, they said it's friendly and professional, eccentric, exciting, giddy, inspirational. Everyone wants to be there, and they can see that James, he works hard. They can see how he has reached success and what success can look like, and they want to help him with that, and they want to get there themselves, and it has just created a really cool culture. For the future, I think it would be really important for them to advertise more to the public because not many people know exactly what they do, as well as to provide the employees with more situations, social situations where they can get to know each other personally, not just on a business level, which I think is really important to create that familial bond. And this is to end with the sign that they have hanging up in their office. Thank you for watching my video.